Hello, everyone. My name is Preeti Mundra, and I'm the co founder of Smaller Footprint. Today, in the Good Steps Sustainability Conversation, we have Colonel Navinder Narang with us. Welcome, sir. Sir has 20
I
years of service serving the nation, serving us, protecting all of us, and the last 14 years as one of the esteemed sustainability leader in a leading player in the BFSI segment. Today, we are going to have a talk with him to understand what led him to this journey, what are the things which influenced it, and what are the things we all can learn and start doing. Thank you, sir, for taking out time and coming to this platform and inspiring and sharing your valuable knowledge across these two very interesting domains and impactful domains. Thank you, sir.
thank you, Preeti, and it's a pleasure to coming on your platform, especially that we've been in touch for last almost a year, and
Yes.
we've been seeing each other in some of the social media platforms, and it's very interesting to know the good things that good steps are doing.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, the word sustainability is a single word, but different people look at it in different ways. And of course, it has a very broad dimension. So, let's start with what is sustainability to you as an individual?
Yes, you know, it's actually very simple. I see it as living enough for the coming generations. That's a very simple way I look at it, because uh, mainly because of the guilt trip that this entire thing has had taken me on some time back, when I was seeing and realizing how much harm we are doing to the environment, and how much on one side we love our children, we are wanting them to grow and be good citizens, we wanting them to get the best of skills. At the same time, we are not leaving the earth as good for them as we would want to. So it's a huge dichotomy in our personal behavior towards our children and our responsibility towards them as in a larger format.
Yes, interesting. I think we all go into planning a lot of things for the children from the schooling to the further co-curriculars to the best of whatever they get. But until the land, water, and air is taken care of, so everything else is secondary. So, sir, when did it all start? Like, was it from your childhood, or was there any certain incident which made you think towards this direction?
Yes, I would attribute this aspect to my army career. While in the army, you're fortunate, unlike many of the citizens in the country, to have traveled to all breadths and lengths of the country. If you ask me, I've been to places like the Great Nicobar Island, the
Right.
Galathea Bay, where the turtles come and nest. I've
Oh,
been to Manipur, Loktak Lake, and the other places which people don't really see. I've been to the Arunachal borders, walked on those icy slopes. I've been to the deserts at the borders. I've been to the northern Kashmir borders, seen how uh, deforestation in some areas has impacted the environment so badly. On the other hand, a pleasant surprise here that those areas which are properly in army control, even in those jungles, or you can the mountainous terrain, in those areas you will find the environment is so soothing. There is a natural balance. There is a way of the nature coexisting with the humans, where there's not too much of transgressing into the nature's domain. So I've seen that also. So wherever the population is sparse, near the borders where nobody really wants to go and the army is deployed, you'll see a separate beauty of nature in full flourish. But as you come down to the reaches where the valleys and the rivers and the water is available, you see there's a rush among the humans to get everything into themselves, the rush to exploit, the rush to make money. All these things are somewhere, impacting hugely. Somewhere I felt I must slowly travel towards this domain and see what I can give back to the earth.
Interesting. I think what you just mentioned, because since you have seen so many different geographies, cultures, terrains, and how the things are being taken care of or are getting impacted there, uh, that is, I think, a very important thing which a lot of other citizens might be missing out. But at the same time, what you also mentioned on the part that those locations are well maintained, and what really has happened down the other areas, it has got somewhere missed out. So time to rethink on that part. So of course, this travel, this postings shape the mindset. But is there anybody you look up to, or is there any particular thing at home, or maybe in the past service, or currently, which is like you think, okay, this is something which is really interesting happening, or there's something if this person is saying uh, like that?
Yes, yes. Very interesting, when I look at my childhood, it was a very frugal childhood. Uh, if I'm say around in my later part of my 50s now, I can tell you this was quite long back, almost 50 years ago. And if that was the time, I remember the economy had not opened up.
Mhm.
People were automatically used to reusing and recycling. It was part of your daily routine. I have
Right.
seen, I've experienced, I have been handed over clothes from my brother to wear. That was a trend in those days. Our old clothes never used to get disposed. They used to get converted into thelas and
Right.
bag carry bags, or say cleaning cloth or something. And even curtains used to get repurposed as rajai covers or seti covers. We've seen it all happening so naturally and so beautifully. Somehow, as economy opened up, people started, you know, discarding that thought process. There was always a glamour involved in buying new things, showing off. And somewhere the culture changed slowly. Though if you go back to the villages, you will still find a lot of those old habits still there. But they are slowly dying down, and that is the sad part. Because in adopting the new methodologies, if you are discarding uh, your habits which are leading to sustainability automatically, I don't think there is any big buy off or any show off value by not doing those things anymore. In fact, I still use the metro. I still walk a lot. Sometimes I walk. I challenge myself. The other day I had to go to the hospital. I went by one way by an auto, but while coming back, I said, let me just walk it down because I have time.
Right.
There's no hurry for me to reach faster. So why don't I walk it down? So I found it was a very nice walk of 3 kilometers I could have, and in the bargain, I could see and watch and introspect a lot of things while walking. So those charms are slowly dying. Everybody is in a hurry these days, and somewhere to save that time without realizing what value that time is adding, you are going into all those aspects which are harming the nature, harming the environment. On other part, yes, I would owe it to ICICI Bank in a big way. That is the larger organization I'm serving in, and this organization has really taught a lot, gave a lot of opportunities to me to grow and take on newer challenges, newer possibilities. And this is one organization which always encourages the employees to go out and deliver more than what they are, meant for. So that is one.
Right.
And in that bargain, two of my ex bosses, Mr. Saurabh Singh, who is now in a very senior role in an organization involved with conservation of species outside ICICI Bank. He's left the bank. And Mr. Anuj Agarwal, who was directly my boss, who is also an IGBC fellow.
Okay.
So a lot of synergy, a lot of things happen when you are in touch with people of the same values. And other than that, yes, my proclivity or desire to, collaborate with individuals beyond the borders, beyond my reach through social media like LinkedIn, also helped a lot to nurture my thoughts and gave it a lot of food to grow further. And at the end, I would say the desire to bridge the gaps wherever are there in whatever way I can. That desire always helped me to, try and do more towards this field.
Right.
I think these are what I can say. Thank you.
That's wonderful. I think you need to have those like-minded people, which helps you drive those things to a much larger level. And also, of course, I think we all are rushing to today's time towards the destinations more rather than enjoying the journey. And of course, this journey of either walking or taking things slow is good for our health also. But I think that messaging is somewhere getting lost. But good,
Yes,
I think when we reiterate the good messages, so good impact and good steps can be taken by many people. So, sir, when you
yes, yes.
shifted from army to the corporate, so uh, how was the kind of shift on the sustainability aspect, as well as like what kind of major challenges did you encounter there? Today, of course, it's a very challenging area for a lot, either because some people don't understand, or either because we have been doing things in a certain way for so many years, and now it is time to change that, rethink that. So, what kind of major challenges were there, and how did you overcome? If you can share one or two incidents, that would be wonderful.
Okay. So, as I told you, the focus while you are part of the army at a larger scale is for guiding the nation. And somewhere when you are deployed, you are also in charge of the local environs, not environment as per se, but the
Okay.
environs around you, the local population, how things are happening. So certain population control measures also are given under your authority.
Okay.
You are governed that small area which is in your domain. So you
Mm-hmm.
automatically get involved with the sustenance of the populace and how is happening, what are problems, or any other problems. So you get involved. Whereas in the corporate, the focus is just on the, if I may say so, on the profitability of the organization. So
Right.
somewhere, I won't blame it on the corporate world, but yes, somewhere the focus becomes very, very narrow. And because the focus is narrow, people try to take out their own messaging from that focus. Messaging that they probably get is, okay, I have to perform within the given parameters. I have to show my results in the parameters. I have to prove the ROI. I have to get those targets done. So in that rigmarole, the the underlying uh, effort, which could be also brought up as part of the corporate,
Mm-hmm.
goes a bit diluted, gets missing.
Right.
But thanks to initiatives like CSR and now what SEBI has started, BRSR reporting for the
Mm-hmm.
companies which are high profit making. So these things are being addressed now slowly, but definitely this is the stark difference which I found a challenge which was there. In the army, you had the feeling of biodiversity already coming into you.
Mm-hmm.
You are sitting in a remote corner in say Nagaland, and you finding some woodpeckers around you. You automatically get drawn towards this mysterious aspects of the
Right.
universe. So all those things are slightly missing in the corporate. I won't blame them though. So and the good thing in the army is you won't know that there's already a territorial army battalion, or there are two
Mm-hmm.
battalions
Okay.
dedicated to your conservation, eco conservation.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
So they have planted millions of trees. They have done immense work. So those kind of stories and news which we come across also used to get us abreast of what can be done at a larger scale. Uh, so these are the things which got me to think, okay, if there's some direction which I can find in the corporate to, you know, do my bit to influence this change, why not try it?
So coming to the mindset part which you mentioned, so like in army, it's already ingrained there in the minds, but while in corporate, it is something which is being now happening slowly, slowly happening. So building the culture of sustainability among the employees, among the customers, among the entire ecosystem. So, what are
Yeah.
the kind of major initiatives are happening in the BFSI segment to get the employees involved, increase their awareness, and to understand like this is not just something which is being done by the organization because it is needed by law, but because it is also something which impacts to each of us. So, how that culture building thing, like if broadly for the industry, like what are the kind of initiatives, if you can talk about one or two such initiatives which are happening there?
Okay. As far as culture changing is there, there are three aspects I would like to touch upon. One is to how to create that culture. So, in any organization, the culture creation is done by the top. If the
Mhm.
top management are seen as advocating these changes, are seen speaking about them, mentioning them, highlighting them whenever this is not been followed, so that automatically sets the expectations of the others below. So that's the
Of
first step,
course.
which is there, and many NBFCs, including ours, is doing the same thing. So we have things like small interventions like we have the AC temperature set at 24 degrees in all our
Right.
offices. We
Right.
have
Wonderful.
uh, zero paper tissue use in our
Okay.
washrooms.
Okay. Nice.
We have the innovations happening like the AC drain pipe water,
Mm-hmm.
which goes out, which generally just goes waste. We've collected that water and we are able to manage the entire water requirement for our outdoor purposes through that collection
Okay.
itself.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, things like pooling transport, having satellite offices rather than having one big office centrally, Also, things like drinking water is what we've done lately is we've switched to alkaline water.
Okay.
Normally, what people think is shifting to alkaline water is a change of habit. But
Mm-hmm.
along with that comes the sustainability. How? Because alkaline water machines, which we have put, they take water inlet directly from the BMC sources. Whereas the
Okay.
other water
Mm-hmm.
is is reused from those Bisleri cans that we get.
Oh,
So the Bisleri
okay.
cans that we get are, firstly, the transportation emissions.
Right.
Secondly, the plastic containers,
Right.
microplastics. So we're trying to do whatever we can. We don't know we're doing 100%, but yes, these small changes are there. Then regular article sharing to the employees, regular messaging done. So all this helps in a big way. And even our interiors in our offices are a lot of the percentage of that material is sustainable material. We have panels made from straw. We
Okay.
have non volatile paint,
Okay.
and we have ACs which are running on green gas. So a lot of interventions are there which help us. And we have lithium ion batteries for our UPS. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting and very inspiring. I mean, these are simple measures, not something which somebody needs to reinvent, but once you start implementing it, you will also save on the cost, save on the consumption of resources at the same time together. So, yeah, very
Absolutely.
interesting. So, in terms of consumers, when we talk about, you want to take a break?
No, it's okay. Tell me.
Yeah. So, from a consumer perspective, so what are the kind of things, if we talk about the consumer centric approaches? So, I understand now there is this initiative towards green buildings. So, or going for the solar lighting for their houses and all. But solar, of course, has certain incentives built in for when anybody is taking the loan and all. But for the green buildings per se, so are there any incentives broadly in the industry which, as compared to going for a regular residential building versus a green building when somebody goes and buys as a new buyer?
Yes, if you are a company which is giving your BRSR reporting, definitely having a green building certification helps in your getting your scores in the ESG ratings. Apart from that, green building certification also gives you the reliability of the
Mm-hmm.
premises, material, the way it has been constructed, the way the interiors have been done, the way the lighting has been done, the natural lighting, the air quality, the water sourcing, and how the water is being reused or recycled. So all those things come in automatically, and there are deep checklists to certify that. So that becomes a big guarantee for the organizations to promise the kind of things to their users and customers which they propagate otherwise. So that's a great step going forward. Anything else you want me to talk about on this?
Uh, no, I think we'll move to the policy part because all of this, one is individual and organization actions are needed. So, from a policy perspective, what do you say? Think like one or two things which could, if they change or if they are implemented or more focused upon. Any thoughts on that side? So,
Yes, 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 definitely. When the BRSR mandate came, it was only meant for top 500 companies.
mm-hmm.
Now put yourself in the situation of those who are not part of those top 500 companies. What would they think? I'm just asking you, Preeti, if you could just give me one liner. If you're not part of
Okay.
that and the mandate came to only to for 500, so how would you take it?
So I would have two answers. If say 7 years back somebody would have asked me, I would say it doesn't apply to me, doesn't matter. But if today somebody asks me, it is like it's been to them. I should also be part of that ecosystem because there is definitely a benefit there.
Great, great. You said both the things which I wanted to say. So uh, the majority today would still think, okay, this is only meant for the top 500. I still have time to reach there wherever I want. I can take it cool, you know. On the other hand, they would also perhaps feel why I have been left out. Why am I not part of this? Because mind you, the top 500 companies are already doing something or the other
Hmm.
to contribute towards the environment. Because
Right,
they have the wherewithal, they have those funds, they have some CSR funding with them, right?
right.
But the problem is with the others, and the others are also consisting of a lot of companies which may not be very well organized, which
Hmm.
may be using unorganized sectors like scrap vendors, like other people in the chain who are not geared up for this kind of environmental conservation.
Right.
So my point and my plea through your medium would be the government has to consider a simple way of reporting for all the companies. There may be less penalties to start with, but at least have a reporting, at least have a one page of reporting. What that will do is that will induce a thought process.
Hmm.
And the thought process will induce certain actions to be taken. And all those actions at a wider scale look at the culmination and the aggregation of those efforts. Without doing much, you would have done all the more.
Right.
So
You can get
this
a
this thing
larger audience.
needs to be this thing needs to be got back to the policymakers in a very positive way, and not it's not a complaint that they have started well, but if they look at this now, probably this can mean a larger difference.
Yeah,
And second thing
absolutely.
is second thing is impact funding. The the green financing which started as soft loans.
Hmm.
So many of those companies who want those loans don't know how to really become eligible for those loans. They're missing
Mhm.
out on opportunity.
Right.
At the same time, even if they get those loans, organizers sometimes don't know what to do. They just
Mhm.
do the perfunctory checklist and somehow save their skin by saying, okay, we have used the loan somehow for the right purpose. But what is the larger impact that you're creating for that fund?
Mhm.
So it would be better if companies are allowed to think in-house, do some R&D, do some brainstorming, come out with some projects which are directly linked to the larger biodiversity results. You know, getting to small things like tree plantation and all may look very good, but may not really translate to that kind of impact we want. And what I want to say here is why I'm saying so. We have very little time left.
Absolutely.
We don't have the luxury of time to allow things to happen on their own course. So that intervention is very much required to accelerate the change. And for
Right.
this, the impact funding is very important. So government and the private sector and those big financial bodies which are into this green financing need to get together, collaborate, and create benchmarks, create very specific paths from which these larger projects can be directly benefited.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
think very, very interesting points. And I hope this messages reaches more people and steps are being taken towards that so that it's just doesn't remain something to be done by select few, but it spreads so that all can come together and move towards a better way. So one now last question, sir, on a small action. So like we call it good steps which are good for you and the environment. So if you have to advise to somebody who wants to really know that I want to take my journey, start my journey to sustainability, what are the two things I should start doing and why?
Wow. Okay. Let me just think. Okay. Come to think, I would give them this advice. Two advices. Firstly, think before you buy, and
Very
second is think before you throw.
You summed it all up in these two points. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for taking this time. I hope everybody is going to benefit a lot with the diverse experiences of both the sectors which you shared, as well as on the broader policy outline, the thought process of going forward, how it should be shaping towards, and what are the kind of steps which can be taken. I think this was a very insightful and rich discussion and it will inspire a lot of other people to start taking their good steps towards a better tomorrow. Thank you so much, sir.